Before I sell away this red variant, I just want to share with you guys these two early Hasbro Warpath from the 2-pack with Deadpool. These two 2-packs really fetched a high price about 10 years ago. And I think even now, even with all the better Hasbro Marvel Legends figures, I think the price of this 2-pack has dropped a bit, but it is still in the high range. Maybe if you get it loose, these two Warpath figures might be a bit pricey. But for the Deadpool figure, we've gotten plenty of better Deadpool figures. So if the Deadpool figures from this 2-pack is sold separately on its own, the price on them has probably dropped a lot. Each of these Warpath figure comes with a pair of dagger, and the dagger looks good. It is actually casted in black with silver painted on the blades. That's why you can see the paint wear over here. And they even reuse this dagger for Nuke. The daggers can be slotted in at the back of the belt. And for the figure itself, I think both of them really still holds up and can blend in well with the recent Marvel Legends figures. It's actually a retool of the Hulkling body. It has the same arms and legs as Hulkling, but the torso is different. It is cleaner and doesn't have the sculpted collar or the scales on the chest area. This crossbone figure from the early Hasbro era is the other figure that reuses the Hulkling body. The head on this one is kind of small though, but you can see the same arms and legs, maybe a slight difference at the top of the boot over here. The head sculpt of the figure is really good. The mask on the eye isn't just painted, it is sculpted and elevated slightly, and you can see all the wrinkles on the face. And this is one of the early Hasbro figures that has a separate hair that is glued to the head. Most of the figures back then has the hair sculpted as part of the head instead of a separate piece. So that definitely contributes to the overall great look of the head sculpt. I really like the bulk of the figure. It's really big compared to Bucky Cap body, and most of the recent body mold is only just slightly bigger than the Bucky Cap, so these two figures are definitely way bigger in size. The only downside is that the articulation is rather dated. Unlike this newer Warpath figure, which I do not have anymore because I've sold it away, definitely has a body with way better articulation. It has the shoulder butterfly joints, double hinged elbow joints, the normal wrist peg, and definitely no longer the ball hip joint. Whereas for this figure, it doesn't have the shoulder butterfly joint, and the arms is actually single hinge joint, and there is a forearm swivel with no wrist articulation. The single hinge elbow joint only allows this much movement. Here's the forearm swivel, and it doesn't have any wrist articulation at all. This whole forearm is one solid piece. It does have the ab crunch as usual, waist swivel, ball hip joint as mentioned earlier, double hinge knee joints, no calf swivel, and the ankle isn't the ankle pivot yet. It's the hinge up and down, and not much movement left and right with the toe pivot. For the recent X-Force figures, they are painted with matte grey instead of shiny silver. So I guess there is a bit of mismatch if this figure were to join the recent X-Force figures. But to me, this figure just looks too awesome, and I guess I would still just put it together with the matte grey X-Force team. So does this figure hold up? To me, definitely it still does hold up, but I think the price is still a bit high. I wonder if Hasbro is going to revisit X-Force Warpath. The lack of shoulder butterfly joints and wrist joint does make it a bit more challenging to pose. But overall, I still like this figure. I'm keeping the X-Force version and letting go of the red version. Thanks for watching this short review. Do subscribe and check out my other reviews at my channel.